we have 3 standards to cover in this chapter. We are starting with the standards now. Okay. From today onwards, we'll be starting with standards, right? So be careful. Do not miss out any classes. Alright. Standard chapters especially do not miss out. Non-standard chapters, it is okay. You can still cover it with common sense. Okay. But other than that, standard based chapters, please do not miss out. We have 3 standards to cover in this chapter. Okay. One is SA. You have to cover SA 210, SA 220 and SQC 1. These are the 3 standards we are going to cover in this one particular chapter. Now, before we start the standard, I am going to tell you how to read a standard, especially in auditing. Clear? Because if you see accounting standards, the name is enough. Right? AS2 inventory. You know, whenever you talk about inventory valuation, you have to go to AS2. Whenever you want to talk about the asset, you have to go to AS10. Right? Amalgamation AS14, consolidation AS21. So you know exactly which standard to refer. Now, same problem you have to, same thing you'll have to face in auditing as well. Which standard where we have to use? Clear? Now, in SQC1, if you flip the page and go to SQC1, what is the standard name? Page number 335. Look at the name of SQC1. Quality control for firms that perform audits and reviews of historical financial information and other assurance and related service engagement. This is the name. Now, how do you remember all these things? Which standard to apply where is a difficult part for auditing, in especially for intermediate students and not for final students. Clear? Where do we apply this standard? When do we refer to this standard? See, basically standard is like a guide for you. If you do not know what to do, standard will tell you what exactly to do. Or standard will guide you. It's like a guidance note, but not guidance note, but they'll tell you, they'll help you in some situations. But the question is, which standard should I refer to is the biggest question a student will have. So in the question, which standard to apply? That is one particular thing which students will ask. Clear? May 2024, auditing paper was relatively easier. Okay, the students were able to attempt for full 100 marks in May 2024. Alright, now in auditing paper, it is not just auditing. You will have Companies Act questions. You will have law paper questions here. You will have accounting questions here. Okay, then you will have audit questions as well. So do not worry that auditing is a fully new topic and I'm not able to understand anything there. Auditing is like a mashup. It's like a DJ. All subjects are there here. Alright, for example, if you flip in that particular page, May 24, one question is there where they have asked about inventory valuation. Now, inventory valuation is about your AS2. Correct? Yes. Now the question is, sir, this inventory valuation is not an audit, no, it is an accounts, no. You are not taught accounting standard. Why will I teach accounting standard? In auditing, you have to check whether it has been prepared properly or no. That means you should have a knowledge about certain things and that they will also test you. So, you have to be knowing about different subjects as well. So people who are writing both groups, it will be easier for you because you are coming from group 1, you are studying that also, you are studying audit also. So it will be easier relatively. But people who are writing single group, no, do not think that group 1 exams are done, I don't have to refer to that. You will have to refer to that when you come to group 2. Clear? Now imagine you have done with group 1 and group 2 and when you go to finals, you will think that I don't have to refer to CA inter syllabus at all. Because in finals, your chapter starts where in inter chapter ends. So you have to have a little bit of knowledge about intermediate as well. So it's a continuous process. Clear? So how do we refer to the standard? I used to visualize one particular scenario where if I was in a student place, how I would visualize the standard. So this is what I applied for finals because I did self-study of audit and finals. First attempt of finals in audit. No, in 5 days the entire syllabus was finished. Okay, day 1 to day 5, final syllabus was done. What happened? I don't even know. After 5 days, I'm figuring out what exactly happened. Clear? Because I was still traumatized. 1,000-page book was given. Okay, 800 to 1,000-page book was given, and it was done in 5 days. So in a day, around 200 pages on an average. Okay, it was a crash course. It literally crashed me. I don't know what exactly happened. After 5 days, I'm sitting and like, I don't understand what is audit. So I sat, and the next few attempts, I only studied audit on my own right from scratch, self-study. There, I understood how do I visualize standards, because there we have all the standards. Here you have selective standards. There you have all the standards. So what I used to do is, imagine now in your wardrobe, you have different set of clothes. Like you have formal clothes, you have casual clothes, you have home clothes, you have traditional clothes and all these things. My question to you, do you wear all clothes everywhere? No. If it is a function, traditional function, you will wear traditional wear. Right? At home, apart from the serials, at home, do you wear traditional clothes and sleep? No. If anybody wears a sherwani with then peta and then sleeps? No. Yes or no? So, for every clothing style, there is an occasion. And for every occasion, there is a particular dress code. Right? So, the standards are like the dresses in your wardrobe. You will not take up all the standards every time. Whenever the occasion comes, you will take up that relevant standard and then carry on with your work. Right? So, this particular standards are like your clothes in your wardrobe, or you have some cheat code in your drawer. You will not take up everything in every situation. Only when the situation arises and you don't know what to do, you pick up the standard and see what the standard has told. Clear? So my visualization was this initially when I started with standards. So that gives me a clarity as to which standard I have to even think of. Right? So we are starting with SA 210. SA 210 says what? Agreeing the terms of audit engagement. If I read the name here, agreeing the terms of audit engagement, specifically they have spoken about audit engagement. Sir, what is the word here? SA, no? SA is used where? First chapter. SA is used where? Audit of historical financial information. So wherever you see SA, they are talking about audit only. Are you getting my point? Now on the other hand, imagine if I remove this word, or agreeing the terms of engagement. Which engagement? Should be audit only. Why? Because it is SA. Clear? So wherever they use SA, we know that this is for audit. If they have used SQC, we know it is not for audit. It is for the firm. This distinction is important. Half of the students don't know where to use this. They'll tell SA 210, 220, 230, 240. They'll keep on telling. Ask them where are you using it. They'll not be able to tell. So that distinction, that identification is very, very important. Clear? So SA means for audit. Where are we using this? Agreeing the terms of engagement. Sir, when do you agree the terms of engagement? Before accepting the audit or after accepting the audit? Both. Both. You're 50% right. Before accepting the audit, we agree to the terms. But once we accept the audit, we are talking practically. There could be some changes in between. That time the terms might change. Clear? When terms are changing, obviously again SA 210 we'll have to refer. Understood? Clear? So before the acceptance of audit also, we will refer SA 210. Some special situations in between the audit, if they ask us to change the terms, wherever we have to agree the terms, SA 210 will come into the picture. Understood? Yes or no? So change in the terms also, SA 210 will come. First time we are auditing, we need to agree to the terms, SA 210 will come. Understood? In between, there is any changes in the terms, SA 210 will come. Clear? Yes. Second misunderstanding students might have, sir, they have given situation A and situation B. Okay, so situation A is here, situation B is here. They think SA 210 comes to an end here. Understood? But SA 210 doesn't come to an end here. It continues here. This also is SA 210 only. This also is SA 210 only. This also is SA 210 only. Clear? Then we go to the next standard. Clear? So do not think that apart from that A and B, SA 210 is not there. It is there. Right? So let's begin. I hope you understood how to read one essay, where to apply it. Read the name only will give you a hint. Okay? Right. What is the objective of this essay? Clear? Objective of audit is different. Objective of every standard is different. Right? What is the objective? The objective is to accept or continue. Now, where will these come? Accept and continue. Accept means new engagement. Am I right? Continue means old or existing. So whenever a new client comes and asks, sir, will you accept, will you take up the audit? SA 210 comes into the picture. Last year I did the audit. This year also I am doing the audit. If the client's behavior change, if the client's terms and condition changes, SA 210 will come. Clear? So either while accepting a new client or while continuing the existing client, in both the scenarios, SA 210 will help you. Understood? Clear? Your answer was 50% right. What was your answer? Only while accepting the new client. No, we will continue whenever we are continuing with our old client also, SA 210 will come. Basically, SA 210 targets not whether it is first time or nth time. It targets whether the terms are same or terms are different. Understood? Clear? Yes? Right. So, let's start. Two things we have to discuss mainly. Clear? So, the objective is to accept or continue audit engagement only when the basis upon which it is to be performed has been agreed. What is the basis? Terms only, no? Number one, situation, establishing whether preconditions for audit are present. Before we start our audit, whether it is a first time or whether it is continuing, we should evaluate, are there preconditions? What do you mean by preconditions? Before we start, there are certain conditions. Only if it is ready, I will accept it or I will continue. Otherwise, I will not accept nor continue. Understood? Let's take a simple example. Now, when you took admission here, it was face to face. Yes. Now, based on one appropriate assumption, the management had planned the place. Yes. Now, due to some unexpected demand, the population increased. Correct? Now, because of that, now we are trying to accumulate or accommodate everyone in one particular place. Yes. Now, the terms were different then, the terms are different now. Now, that is the reason yesterday the terms were communicated to you guys. Now, it is your decision whether to accept it or reject it. Are you getting my point? Yes. So, in this scenario now, if I take this and put into audit, SA 210 is coming. Understood? If you feel that, okay, no, I don't want this particular term, you can withdraw from the audit. Right. So, first I have to check whether preconditions are present. If it is not present, what am I supposed to do? That also will be discussed. So, first let's try to understand what are preconditions for audit. Number one, to establish whether preconditions are there, you should do three things. Actually, two things. One is determine. What do you mean by determine? Identify, get to know whether financial reporting framework is acceptable. What is financial reporting framework means? Yes, financial statements prepared as per applicable standards, applicable law, applicable regulation. Not only financial statements, it could be other disclosures. Basically, financial reporting we are talking. What reporting we have to do as per our applicable statute. Clear? So, you can write somewhere in the notes or in the textbook. Have I given you this? Have I given you the explanation of AFRF to write? No, right. Financial reporting framework means Financial reporting framework means, Dinesh, I hope it is fine now. Financial reporting framework means the way financial statements, are prepared, and the way information is presented slash disclosed as per applicable statute, regulation, law. Standards have you written? No, standards. Code, 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 etc. Next line, example. Now, two examples we'll take. One is our normal entity, one is our banking entity. Okay. Example, situation 1. In case of a normal entity, the financial reporting means financial statements in bracket you write what do you mean by financial statements? 5 things are there in financial statements. Balance sheet we have, P&L we have, cash flow statement we have, notes to accounts we have, and SOC we have. That is statement of changes in equity. These 5 things are there in financial statements. Now for normal entities, for us financial reporting means what? Only financial statements. We are not giving anything extra. Correct? These 5 things we are giving. Situation 2. In case of banking entity, financial reporting framework means financial statements as per banking regulation. Financial statements as per banking regulations and submission of reports specifically required by RBI. Right. Now in this case, there's 2 different views. For normal people, it is just a financial statements and audit report. But in case of banking, financial statements are also there, normal audit report are also there. Apart from this, there are many reports that we have to give. Now that is called applicable financial reporting framework. How we are reporting the finance in different acts. Right? Now for listed company, financial reporting framework is little different. Because SEBI will tell, we also want some information. Understood? For unlisted company, it is little different. SEBI will not come into the picture. Government will come into the picture. Understood? Is SEBI a government? SEBI is not a government. SEBI is a regulator formed by government. Are you getting my point? Everybody considers SEBI, RBI as government. These are all sectoral regulators. They regulate a particular sector. They don't go to the other sector and regulate. For example, SEBI regulates capital markets. Clear? SEBI regulates capital markets. Government will regulate money markets. That is where treasury bonds are given. Yes, your government bonds are there. These are all government oriented. Clear? Companies Act regulates company sector. RBI regulates banking sector. IRDA regulates insurance sector. So like that, for every sector there is one regulator. And these regulators are formed by government only. Logic, government cannot handle everything. Clear? If government handles everything, there will be a scam 1992 repeated. Clear? Logically, government can't do everything. No. That is the reason they have installed sectoral regulators. In every sector, one regulator will take care. For competition, there is CCI, Competition Commission of India. They regulate the particular sector. So if you do anything wrong in the competition, you will not go to the government. You will go to CCI, Competition Commission of India. Clear? So when Jio gave free SIM for 1 year, the competitors went to CCI. Of course, court only, but court will call CCI only. Because that is a sector that we are targeting. Understood? Clear? So everywhere we'll have these sectoral regulators. So whenever we are auditing a particular client, we have to see which sector he belongs to, who are the sectoral regulators, what reporting is required for them. So whatever reporting we have to do then, that is called applicable framework for us. For partnership firm, why will RBI come into the picture? Are you getting my point? RBI will come for banking companies. So when we do banking audit, then we have for us financial reporting framework will differ. We have to report in their manner. When we are talking about partnership firm, we have to report in their manner. When we are talking about companies, we have to report in their manner. Got it? When we are talking about trust, we have to report in their manner. Clear? So we have to find out whenever a client comes and asks you, will you take my file? You have to see whether is the framework acceptable for you. Imagine you are a firm where you don't handle trusts. Okay? Now I have a trust. I will come to you and I'll tell you, will you take me as your client? Now you have never handled the trust. Question number 1 to determine as per SA 210 is the reporting framework acceptable for you? Do you know how to report? If yes, then go to the second one. If no, don't even think of second one. You can decide here only. No sir, we don't take trusts here. Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Now, let's say that this is a technical example. To understand it better, let's take a general example. Now imagine I am teaching for CA intermediate audit. Okay. Now I will be teaching for CA final also. Okay. I'll do CA inter audit, I'll do CA final audit. Now, of course I'm not giving it as an example, I'll be doing next year. But just because I did CA inter and CA final audit, can I do ACCA audit? No, why? I can do if I say, yes sir, I will teach. But there, the answering methodology will be different. In ACCA, it is typing, not writing. Here, the descriptive answers should be typed. So there, it is entirely case-based questions. Right? They'll give you entire case. So there, the framework is different. Unless I know that, I should not accept it just because the subject is same. Understood? And for ACCA, it is not essay. It is international standards. Understood? It is ISA. Clear? International standards on audit. Okay. Now, in that case, no, I have to see whether it is acceptable for me. If I have the knowledge about it, then I can accept it. If I do not have knowledge about it, even if I accept, will there be quality output? No. Are you getting my point? Understood. So step number 1, Determine, get to know whether FRF is acceptable. Number 2, obtain the agreement of management that it acknowledges. What do you mean by acknowledge? Agree and accept and understand its responsibility. Sir, what is management's responsibility, sir? These are the management's responsibility. Number 1. Now in first chapter we had seen. Clear? I told you we'll be seeing in detail in chapter number 11. First responsibility, preparation of financial statements in accordance with, what do you mean by in accordance with? As per the applicable financial reporting framework. So preparation of financial statement is not my responsibility. It is management's responsibility. Do not accept the responsibility of preparation, because if you do it, you should not audit it. Why? Self-review threats are inbuilt now. You are only reviewing your work. So if you take up, in case of companies, they have clearly told under section 144, bookkeeping services is not allowed. You will be disqualified. First service in 144 and last clause in 141(3), they have clearly told if you give these services to the company, holding company, subsidiary company, you are disqualified. But for others, we don't have a law, no? For partnership firm audit, where is a law? That is where standard comes into the picture. Clear? So if you do this, then tomorrow, what is the point? It is their responsibility, you are taking it up. Second responsibility, for internal control as management considers necessary. Sir, maintaining ICS is not my responsibility, it is yours. My responsibility is, have you maintained it properly? I am not responsible to put ICS in your entity. That is your call. Why? Biggest reason. Who knows the business better? Management or auditor? Who knows the company better or the entity better? Management or auditor? Management. Who knows their people better? So who should put control systems? Management and not we. Understood? Students will have a problem with this point. Clear? Reason, they do not know why it is their responsibility. Because we have one standard where we have to report on internal control. That time they'll tell, sir, isn't it our responsibility then? No. Having ICS is whose responsibility? Theirs. Then what do we do? Check whether ICS is there. If it is there, is it enough? And we give suggestions. Maintaining is not our responsibility. It is like we tell, sir, in CA, giving you homework or teaching you is our responsibility. Is your writing exam our responsibility? No. Are you getting my point? Understood. In CA, especially in professional courses, there is one particular thing. You cannot say that if you take coaching from the best of the best teacher, you will pass. This assurance cannot be given. Why? Huh? One is results. Second one is efforts. That is uncertain. See, in school, colleges, they can control your efforts. They can control your efforts because they will give homework, they will check notes, they will give unit tests. So many things are there. So they can control, they can give preparatory exams, they have control over your efforts. In professional courses, do you know by default, professional courses are self-study courses? Are you getting my point? Clear? So it is your responsibility. Then what does a teacher do, sir? Teacher will give you clarity as how to study. Studying is your responsibility. We can't study for you. Similarly, auditor cannot prepare ICS for you. You have to prepare. We will check that. Understood? Clear? That is the second responsibility. Third one, to provide the auditor with three things. One, access to all information. Second, access to additional information. And third, unrestricted access to, this is very, very important, persons within the entity from whom the auditor determines it is necessary to obtain evidence. So three things are their responsibility. Number one, preparation of financial statements. Number 2. Number 2 is maintaining internal control system. Number 3, to provide us with 3 things. Number 1, all information like documents, books of accounts, etc. Number 2, additional information. Number 3, now this you have to complete the sentence. Unrestricted access to persons within the entity. Now this point I will explain it now, which you will relate to it later. Unrestricted access meaning what? Every time I want to talk to your employee, should I ask your permission? No, give me unrestricted access to people within the entity. So in the entity, how many ever employees are there? I need to talk to them. For that, give me permission once only now. Not every time I want to talk to them. But the question is, think and tell me, if I have to take debtor confirmation, if I have to take creditor confirmation, do I have unrestricted access? No. Why? Because these are people outside the entity and not within the entity. So tomorrow you can't take this letter and go to debtor and talk without asking management's permission. Understood? Clear? You have to ask management permission because these are people outside the entity. Because in future standard they will tell management authorization is required. Now they are right, because unrestricted access for you is given only for in the entity. Within the entity you go wherever you want, you ask whomever, whatever you want. But a person outside the entity, you have to ask my permission. Without my authorization, you should not go and talk. Understood? I know there will be one doubt. Even if it is not there, I will put that doubt in your mind. Sir, if I am asking permission and going, they will team up. No, sir. The auditor will come and ask confirmation, give this amount. I told you ask permission. Did I tell you to go and tell what you are asking? Go and ask permission saying, I want to talk to the debtor. Give me authorization. Don't tell them what questions you are asking. Prina, understood? Sorry? The management, if they ask you, for what are you asking? I have some work, boss. Why will I go and talk to debtor personal things? That is where your professional behavior should come into the picture. Let them assume that you will ask this. Do not tell them when are you asking. Do not tell them what are you asking. Are you getting my point? Clear? Simple logic. I understand what you are trying to tell. Sir, imagine I am the debtor, you are the management. Or I am the auditor, you are the management. Now I need your authorization, I take your authorization. You will assume what? I will go and ask the debtor, what is that? How much amount do you owe this person? Yes, you will tell the debtor, see if he comes and asks, on the keta, 10 lakhs in solo. Okay, now technically 15 lakhs. Correct? 15 lakhs that person has to give. Who, let us say Mr. C has to give you 15 lakhs. You will tell him, just tell 10 lakhs. Okay, because you assume that I will go and ask him, how much does he owe? I will not ask that. I will give, I'll let you think. Now you are thinking that today I will go and ask. I will not ask. You will come and ask, sir, when are you going to the debtor? Sir, I will ask when I want. You have given authorization, give me authorization, enough. I will ask when I feel like. When I want, I will ask. Now it is an uncertain thing that management will not know when will I ask. Debtor will not know when will I ask. Now we are prepared for it. Okay. How I will question you is, I will tell, generally I will talk to the debtor. It seems you owe 20 lakhs for him. What man, so much big amount, what are you doing? Now you will say, 20 lakhs, sir. Yeah, 20 lakhs. I am reporting like that only. That you owe 20 lakhs. Sir, sir, only 15 lakhs, sir. So you have to play that game. Understood? You have to play that mind games. If they talk, you ask in, that is called professional skepticism. Understood? Questioning mind. Being alert to conditions. Critical assessment of evidence. That should be in your mind. How should I question them to get what I want? Clear? Understood? Yes. New client. For rejection or withdrawal, there is no particular standard because rejection or withdrawal comes under a situation. So standard is given for the situation. Now here you are agreeing or continuing. In this situation, if it is not there, you withdraw. So in every standard, they are told if this is not possible, withdraw. In independence, if you have seen, put safeguards. If safeguards you are not able to put, withdraw or don't take it up. So in every standard, you will see withdraw, withdraw, withdraw. So one standard is not there for withdrawal. In every standard, there is withdrawal. Okay, because withdrawal comes as circumstance. All right. Okay, sir. Yes. The auditors have permission to? Technically, I don't have that right because that is debtor's book. See, if I want to search your house, why will I ask neighbor's permission? Correct? No. So if entries are there in your books, I can't check your books. I can just give the extract of this guy's ledger in your books. I can just request for you. If you don't give me, no problem. I will report it to the investors or my people or government, whoever has appointed me. I will tell information is not there, so I will not give good opinion. Now management will have a problem with that. So don't give bad opinion, I'm answerable. Then I'll tell management, ask your debtor to give me ledger copy. So management will convince you. Give man, otherwise that fellow will give bad report. So my power, my Brahmastra is my pen only there. Every time if I say I'm going to report, management will tell, sir, don't report. That is the only possible action I have. I can't arrest and all, no. So maximum I can do is reporting. The moment I say I'm going to report, they'll tell, don't, we'll manage it. Clear? Because always, whenever you report, there's a negativity spread. Because of auditor's opinion, there will be a lot of negativity spread. If you're a listed company, your stock price will tank, market capital will be washed. Clear? SEBI will have a doubt, income tax will have a doubt, everybody will start having doubts, they'll start asking questions. And every time there is a news leaked out or news given that investigation is happening by SEBI, investigation is happening by RBI, every time a bad news comes, your market capitalization will keep going down. So I have to give them that picture, if you like, this is what happens. Clear? Right. So unrestricted access is only for within the entity, right there, not there for persons outside the entity. Not there for persons outside the entity. If I ask such mind game questions, what if client stops contacting me for audit, sir? That year audit, at least you will be there, no? That year audit you will be getting, no? Okay, good question. Listen. If I play such mind games, the student is asking, what if I don't get my client next year? You answer. I know my answer. You answer, no? See, if the client doesn't come to me next year, client will go to some other CA. He has to contact me. Every CA you go, I will tell the same thing. He will not give debtor confirmation, ask properly. So you can escape me. You can't escape my method now. Because here, imagine the other CA is worse than me. Clear? That is the reason they think twice before changing CAs, unless required by statute. Clear? Why that rule came in Companies Act that every CA should be only for 5 years maximum? Because before that, CAs were there for companies for 20, 30, 40 years, decades together. Now imagine the bond they share. Imagine not only bond, I'm not talking about that bond, I'm talking about bonds they share. Imagine the money they share. Yes? So with that respect only they got that rotation of auditors rule for companies. For small things, if I start putting, I can't put rules for everything. Clear? I can't, if I put rules for everything, no, it is better to be a dictator. Clear? We'll be following a model of North Korea then. Clear? Will be dictatorship. This entire country will be dictatorship for everything if I start putting. So what they do, they follow one policy. See, in the ocean, which is the biggest creature there? Whale. If I scare the whale only, you think these small fishes won't be scared? Are you getting my point? Because their mindset will be, he did not spare the whale only, you think he'll spare me? That is the logic. Clear? If I scare the small fishes, no, only small fishes will be scared. But if I scare the big ones, small ones will automatically be scared. I don't even have to go to them. Are you getting my point? That is the reason how government targets these bigger ones, because small things, fraud, they can't do. They don't have that capacity. Bigger frauds, I mean fraud at a bigger level is called scam. Clear? Scams can happen only in companies, big companies. See, partnership firm, you do fraud, who is affected? Partners. There will be difference of opinion now. So there, even everything has to be shared equally. Right? Proprietorship, you do scam, fraud, who will be affected? Proprietor only. LLP, you do fraud, who will be affected? Partners only, because their money is involved. Company, private company, you do fraud, who will be affected? You only. That's why their fraud won't happen. Public companies, you do scam. Whose money? Who's enjoying? Not owner. Owner is public only. Public's money is involved. I am the one who is enjoying. The people who are there in the company, managing the company. Understood? That is the reason why, if you see, these are all made out of someone else's money. Individually, if you are doing bigger scams, no, you will be caught easily. That is why you incorporate companies, and then through them, you tend to do scams, which is why lifting of corporate wheel came into the picture. See how concepts are connected. This you did in foundation, lifting of corporate wheel, to protect the revenue or tax. Clear? And last case law of lifting of corporate wheel was to check the improper conduct or fraud. Guilford versus Horn case law. Now that will come here because of the concepts only. So as an auditor, we have to check that. Are you getting my point? Understood? Clear? Yes. So this is the first one right there, not there for persons outside the entity. Outside the entity. Example, debtors. Example, debtors. Right. The first one is done. Second one, agreement on audit engagement terms. So two things. One is preconditions. How many preconditions are there? 3. 1. Responsibility of preparation of FS. Second, responsibility of having ICS. Third, providing us with 3 things. One is provide us all information, additional information, unrestricted access. Trap students where they will lose marks in this particular point is they will remember that 3 points are there, 3 points are there, 3 points are there. Go and write these 3 points and come. Clear? And you will tell, sir, I wrote everything properly, sir. I didn't get marks only. They'll not give marks only, sir. They'll not give marks because you have not written the answer. So 3 points means these 3 points I mean. Clear? Right. Now, I'll also tell you here only how to write short notes at home if you are writing. Okay? If you are preparing short notes, how am I supposed to write? See, number 1, they said you have to have preconditions. There are 3 preconditions. Okay? Remember it like that. 3 conditions, preconditions. Rhyming. Number 1. This is how your short notes looks like. Sorry? What is C? Which point? Which third point, ma? Which which book? Which point should be C? This one, no?
The third.
The three should
First
be
A, B.
So as per you, sir, what the third should be C also.
No, ma. See, this, I am talking about this. Okay, how to write this? This is just a demo. This is an example of how you write short notes. Okay, so if I want to remember those points, how will I write? Okay, so if you are writing AFRF, determine whether AFRF is acceptable. So you just write this AFRF acceptable. So if you are writing preparation of financial statement is their responsibility, don't write the entire long point. Okay, you will just write now ICS implementation. I want to write. I'll just write ICS implementation. I am not replicating the order. I am just writing randomly. If you are remembering these points, how are you supposed to write? Clear? So this is a guide for you to make your own short notes. Now tomorrow when I am revising, I will revise only this. Clear? I will not determine whether AFRF is acceptable or financial reporting framework is acceptable or no. That will be there in my mind. But when I write, I just write AFRF acceptable question mark. What do you mean by question mark? Acceptable or no? Clear? Yes? Okay. So you are telling I wrote this point first and directly this point. Copy. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, just ask him his business hours. What is your business hours? He'll tell 9 to 6 anytime you can call me. Okay. He may tell tomorrow I'm not there. Okay, tomorrow I'll not ask. So I'll tell him when I'll not ask, but I'll not tell him when I'll ask. Yeah. You can put that in writing. In authorization, they can't put time frame because you're not employee, no. You are an accountant, you are a professional accountant, so they can't dictate all the terms. Right? Doubt? Ask. Sure. Any doubts? Yes. Any doubts you have? No doubts? Sure? Yes, let's continue then. So preconditions. What are the preconditions? Quickly. Preconditions. Two main points. What is that? Determine whether AFRF is acceptable. Second one, obtain agreement. Obtain agreement with respect to three things. Number one, preparation of FS. Number two, ICS preparation. Number three, providing three things. What is that? All information, additional information, unrestricted access. Unrestricted access for people outside the entity, no? Outside, no? No, within the entity. Understood? Yes? Cool. Next, agreement on audit engagement terms. Now, this is what we call as, now I'll just highlight something. Tell me whether you remember. Somewhere we have seen this. Where? First chapter, first page in the box. Remember? Yes, audit engagement letter. So I told you there, we will learn in chapter number 11. The contents of engagement letter we'll learn in chapter number 11. Here we are. Clear? Engagement meaning is given there. See how they're confusing the students also. Engagement meaning is given there. Mentioned about the letter name in chapter number 1. But the topic is discussed in chapter number 11. Now you know why I am doing chapter 11. Clear? Imagine you do chapter 11. Self-study people, if they are doing it, no. Imagine you do chapter 11 at the end. At the end, you are learning how to accept audit after getting to know everything. Understood? That time what will happen is, in the upcoming chapters that we are going to do, everywhere they have mentioned about SA 2110 somewhere or the other. Now, unless you know what is 2110, you won't be able to correlate the concept. So it's like this only, no? No? Like this? Okay. Right. Online? You can hear me, no? Audio video is fine, no? online. Disconnected, huh? Yes, fine. Okay. Right. So audit engagement letter contents we have to learn here. Let's try and understand what should be the content. Read this. Engagement letter is sent by whom? It is not client to auditor. It is auditor to client. Now, sometimes institute will give you MCQs. Okay. Now, in institute publications, at times there could be wrong answers. There could be some errors. Sir, how we are supposed to solve? Imagine now, for example, in SA 210, they have told audit engagement letter is sent by auditor to client. But there's a question they have asked, who should send audit engagement letter to whom? And the answer there is client to auditor they have told. Which one should we follow, sir? Which one should we follow? What is the base for that question? SA 210, no. Follow the source. Understood? Clear? Yes. And I'm giving you all possible inputs because new syllabus, right? Publications will keep coming. There could be some errors. There will be some errors, right? As and when, in case if you find any errors, this is how you solve it. The ICAI has issued SA 210 agreeing the terms of audit engagements on the subject. In that, the agreed terms, do not put here and then start discussion. First discuss, finalize the terms. That term should be put in audit engagement letter. 4 marks question they can ask you, what are the contents of audit engagement letter or what matters should be mentioned in audit engagement letter. Number 1, objective and scope of audit of financial statements. Objective. What are the objectives? To obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. Second, to report on the financial statements as per the applicable standards. This objective you should write. Second one is a scope. Whatever is your scope, you write here. Okay. Second, the responsibilities of auditor. Now here you write reference SA 700. SA 700. Go to SA 700. If you have the content with you, go to SA 700. SA 700 will be in audit report chapter. Yesterday you only asked the same thing. There is no reason called why. For you, totally we are around 45-50 essays. Essay. Then you have SRE, SAE, SRS, all those things. For you, you have around 30-34. Huh? No, see, in this chapter we have 3 essays. Clear? Then chapter number 6 you have 1 essay. So like this in every chapter you will be having essay. Around 30 essays you have. Easy essays. 25-30 essays you will have. Sorry? 198. Essay 700, are you there? Page number 198. Now flip there. Contents of audit report will be there. In that, find the point auditor's responsibilities. Page number 203. Page number 203. Point number 8. Now listen to me carefully. Here in SA 210, we are not writing all those responsibilities. In this particular point, we will be writing what is our responsibility in that assignment or in that engagement. Here, for example, if they have appointed me as asset auditor, so my responsibility is only for assets and not for financial statements. If they have appointed me for inventory audit, then my responsibility should be restricted only to inventory. Understood? Yes? Okay. Third, responsibilities of management. What is management responsibility? Same thing. See here. Point number B. Here, preparation of financial statements, ICS maintenance, providing us with information is their responsibility. In fact, in SA 700 also they have mentioned management's responsibility. Okay. Next. Identification of applicable financial reporting framework for the preparation of financial statements. What is the framework under which financial statement should be prepared? Like which AS is applicable, which Companies Act is which act is applicable? Is it Companies Act? Is it some other act? So what are the different statutes that are applicable in the case? Mention that. Clear? Put up a list. Which are the acts that are applicable for your client? Should be there in engagement letter. Last content. Now, before I explain, I am going to give one small exercise. Point number E. 1 minute for you. Clear? 1 minute I'll give for you. Point number E. Read on your own. Try to interpret and tell me what it is. I will anyway explain it. I will anyway discuss it. But develop the reading. Did you give a reading? Yes. You can attempt the answer. What does it mean? What may differ? Content of report. How can I give content of report on day one only? One by one, tell me, no problem. Take your time. So I should mention the circumstance here? Okay.
Because of other circumstances that are included.
Okay. So I need not mention the circumstance is what you mean. Okay. Any other answer? Yeah, you were saying something. So many people are talking. Yes, tell me.
If we call for some to audit something, we
Sorry, ma?
may be called for auditing assets.
Okay.
And also audit their financial statements.
No, I can't do that. That's outside my scope, no. That I am going beyond the scope only. Sorry?
Usually, in the report, these conducts will be there, the auditor will be knowing it.
No.
General. Then how is the audit report?
For SA 700 is the entire audit report standard. That is a format. That's what you said, point number 8, no. So in the report also it should be point number 8 only.
So there will be a certain format.
Yes, there will be format. There will be deviation from the format. Okay. No, correct. But what should I mention here?
You have to give a disclaimer, sir.
Disclaimer what? This is not a disclaimer, no.
Statement.
Statement. You have to disclose what? But I don't know the circumstance. That is in future, no.
And that can affect the report.
That can affect the report. Okay. You're saying something, ma? Any other answer? No problem. Take your time. Mundri. You have any answer? I called your pet name, yeah. நான் என்ன பண்றது உனக்கு சுந்தரின்னு கேட்டா அவ்வளவு ஆசை. ரைட் சார்.
Say we saw circumstances, say not be applicable to the circumstances.
Correct.
Like that.
Like that only we have to mention. Okay. Any other answer? Same, huh? You guys are always in consolidation mode only. Listen, now I'll answer you with whoever has that thought process, you can match it with it. See here, number one, I can't mention the future circumstances because I don't know the future circumstances. Number two, I can't mention the exact content because I don't know the content. I don't know what content I might put later on. Correct? So what am I supposed to mention here? Two things you have to focus on. One is expected form and content. Expected means what? How it might look like. Yes, and then I'm also supposed to tell them it may differ from its expected content. So both I have to tell. See, the format looks like this, but this is not the exact format in future. It may change due to circumstances. I need not mention circumstances because I don't know the circumstance. So it's like accounting sir has given you format, but the journal entries he'll give you. No, because don't know what question will be asked in the exam. Clear? So similarly, I'll tell them expected form and expected content. Form means what? Design. How it looks like. Clear? Expected content I can tell. So if because clients will ask, sir, what will you put in the report, sir, if everything is fine? That time I'll tell, if everything is fine, I'll put so and so. But this need not be the same answer. Due to the circumstances, what if in future you start lying to me? Correct? I'll have to change my answer. What if in future I get to know fraud? Can I still say financial statements are good? No. So expected format, reference means give a reference of how a format looks like. Right? Now for example, imagine you are constructing one house. When you are constructing a house, when you go to the engineer, he will give you a reference of how your home looks like. No? A 3D image he'll give you, or he'll render you one graphic how your home looks like. Exactly it will look like that. Huh? No. Understood? So slowly things will change. Clear? So he will give you a reference. He will give you a sketch. Will not understand. So we'll ask him, sir, how does the home look like, sir? This column and all we don't understand. How does it look like? He'll give you one image. It will come like this. Now you can't stick to that only. It should look like this only. Imagine tomorrow. Now in that entire sketch, there was no well in the premise. Well. Okay. There was no well in the premise. Now, due to the water shortage there, you had to dig up a well. No, that is not there in the image. No. Can I stop the engineer? The image, you can't dig up a well because it is not there. You can't do it because circumstances will change. Are you getting my point? Understood? Imagine in that image, there was, in car you have sunroof. Similarly, in house, they make it open for natural sunlight to fall in. In technical words, it is called pergola. Clear? Where in the middle of the house, they will leave the ceiling open. Now imagine, in the image they have put it. In the image, they have put that pergola on the ceiling. Now while constructing also, they put that. Imagine in your area, there is heavy rainfall. Can I keep it open? Sir, natural light is falling. Anyway, natural water also let it fall, sir. Can I keep it open? No, I have to close it. Now if I close it, the sketch and the actual will change. Similarly, in audit, I can just give a reference to how a report looks like. I can't tell them, I have to tell them that actual, it might change due to circumstances. If circumstance does not change, it will look similar. If circumstance change, the form also will change, content also will change. That is your point number 5. Understood? Yes. 5 points I have to put in audit engagement letter. Number 1, objective and scope audit. Number 2, auditor's responsibility, management's responsibility. Number 4, applicable or AFRF, mentioning AFRF. And number 5, reference to expected form and content of any reports to be issued. And you also have to tell, due to the circumstances, it may change. Clear? Yes. Unrecorded transaction may differ the content. Very good. Yes. Any difference in the content of audit report from previous report of standard ones? Correct. So, if I have not found out any transaction, I will not give the report which I told you I'll give. I'll change the report because now there is some mistake. Clear? Yes. Now, these are the two main things, A and B, about 210. What if preconditions are not there, sir? Let's discuss first rather than reading. We know preconditions. Yes. First is determine if FRF is acceptable. Then obtain management letter. Now my question to you, what if it is not there? Withdraw? Directly withdraw? Then?
Or ask why.
Ask why. In audit, never directly go and report. Imagine you found a fraud. Report. No only. No, talk to management. Ask them why this happened. What if they are not aware only? So it is always better to discuss first before you end. Clear? Talk and then end. Have a closure. Clear? Without talking, do not end, whatever it is. Could be audit, could be any other engagement. But before withdrawing, it is better you have a discussion, have a clarity, and then withdraw. Tomorrow there should not be regret. Okay, I'm talking about audit. Right. What if preconditions are not present, sir? Number one, discuss the matter with, ask them, why? Why are you not giving me the information? Why are you not giving me unrestricted access to people within the entity? You ask them, why can't you give? I'm asking, no, give. Why are you not giving me the information that I'm asking? Additional information, why are you not giving me? Ask. Okay, understood? Discuss. Second, unless required by law or regulation, the auditor shall not accept the proposed audit engagement if the auditor has determined FRF is unacceptable. If FRF is not acceptable, do not accept, withdraw. In fact, there is no withdrawal, don't accept only, because withdrawal comes once you accept it. Clear? Number two, if agreement of management is not obtained, which is the agreement of management? This is very loose marks. Go. Point number A, this one. Understood. Because loose twos. What is preconditions? You are answering this. Clear? If this is if that agreement is not present on matters relating to understanding of responsibility of management, then it is better you do not accept it. Imagine management says, I will not accept my responsibility, sir. You do audit. What will you do? Tell bye. Clear? Tata, bye-bye, goodbye, gaya. Clear? It is better you always take it out from the portfolio only. Don't involve such clients. Right? So if preconditions are not present, step number one, discuss. Step number two, if they correct it, accept it. If they don't correct it, don't accept it. Clear? Yes. Yes.
The auditor has determined the effort will be applied unacceptable. Before accepting, how you get access to the
No. Not FS. FRF you will know. No. See, if a client comes, imagine you are my client. Now, when you are coming to me, you will tell me, sir, I have one entity, will you audit that? I will directly tell yes.
state.
I'll ask now which type. Now you will tell, sir, I have a trust. No, sir, I'm not doing the trust. Because I don't know how to audit the trust. That FRF is not acceptable for me. Now there is something called as cooperative society. Heard? Yes, cooperative society audits are very complicated. Complicated because you ask some of the auditors, substantial amount of auditors will tell society audit will not do. Because society is based on state laws. Cooperative society is based on state law. So every state will have their own laws. Now if I take up society audit, imagine I have one society in Karnataka, one in Tamil Nadu, one in Andhra, one in Delhi. I should know everything. No, sir, Talavalli sir, unacceptable for me. I will not take up only. But if it is multi-state cooperative society, it will be better for me because we will have a central act. Now why people accept Companies Act or company audit? Only one act you have to remember. Imagine it was a state and Reliance auditor would die. Because in every state he'll have one company there. Are you getting my point? It's very difficult. That is the reason if it is acceptable for you, you take it. If it is not acceptable for you, don't take it. Understood? Let's say one more thing. Registration of partnership. I don't understand Partnership Act. Partnership Act is one act which I feel is so lazy. It says you do whatever you want. Sir, I don't know what to do. Can I come to you for help? Yeah, come. No problem for me. Now, partners don't understand in what ratio profit sharing should be done. They will go to ACT. ACT will tell equal. Partners do not know how much salary to pay to each other. They will come to the ACT. ACT will tell no salary. ACT is very good, very silent, in fact, ACT does not even tell register. You do unregistered partnership, no problem. But mind you, you can't file a case on anyone, but anyone can file a case on you. That is not, okay sir, no problem. Have you ever seen companies are telling run the company without getting registered? They'll just say run. Not the company, you run. You have to register the company. Without registration, you cannot commence the business only. Understood? So now in the partnership thing, no. If it is not acceptable for me, I will not take a partnership audit. So his question was, how will you know whether it is acceptable or no in the beginning? But you will tell me about your entity, no. That time only I will know whether it is acceptable for me or no. Understood? Acceptable for me because I am going to audit now. Entity can't say I won't accept. You have to. Can company say I would follow Companies Act? No. But you can say I won't take up company audit. Clear? The entity does not have choice. Right. Next one, limitation on scope before audit engagement acceptance. General example, then technical example. Okay, general example. Imagine now Niranjan. Okay, Niranjan with double R. Now Niranjan got a proposal. Okay, from one girl. I'll specify that also. Okay, now imagine he got a proposal, his family accepted, her family also accepted. Now right after acceptance, no, this fellow wanted to give one party to his friends. Okay, they are discussing which girl and all. Now he wanted to give a party, so he'll call his friends, okay, and he'll tell, today we are having a party. Now Niranjan's fiance will tell, today you are not going for a party. See, he wants party first, right? So he will tell, now she will tell him, you cannot go today. You have to ask my permission before going. Now, isn't she restricting his scope now? Yes or no? Now, this scope was after marriage or before marriage? Before marriage. Now, his friend will tell, Macha, before marriage only like this. Inni kalyanamana Niranjan unna paatha madri da. Now, imagine before accepting the engagement only scope limitation is there. After accepting, what limitations and all the management can put? Arthamainda Raja? Understood? Yes. Same thing. Now technical example, sir. Now imagine Niranjan is the auditor. He before accepting only management is telling, you can't talk to debtor, you can't talk to creditor. Yes. You can't talk to bank manager. Within the entity, no. Within the entity, no. Now that way your fiance will tell, you talk to anyone inside the house. You talk to all. Understood. So within the he is limiting my scope now. Within the entity you talk to anyone, no problem. So management will tell you can't talk to these people without my permission. I understand to an extent you can limit, but you can't limit everything, no. Now in that case, why should you accept such restricted audit? Should you?
No.
No. Why? Can you be independent now? No. Is there independence? Definitely not. Can you give independent audit report? No. Should you accept such limited engagement? That is what they are telling. If management or those charged with governance, we call them cutely TCWG. I will explain it later. What do we call them? TCWG. Those charged with governance impose a limitation on the scope of auditor's work in the terms of proposed engagement, in the terms only. Now these days, they say Marriage proposal has terms, right? You should have this, you should have that, right? So there will be terms. Recently, one event happened. My friend is a lawyer. Okay, so in a normal conversation, some divorce case happened. So he's like, bro, people are getting divorced for nonsense things. I was like, how, bro? How can you tell nonsense? They can have their own disagreements. So he's like, disagreements can there, bro. Then why they should agree first? That time they don't know. Now initially they'll put conditions. There was one proposal. Okay, I had seen the proposal. What conditions? No, you should not live with parents. First condition. Okay. Second condition, you should have a separate house. Third condition, conditions were there. Here, every Sunday a movie, once in a year, foreign trip, twice in a year, domestic trip. I said, boss, this is what resume? You're applying for a husband job? Right. Now, everywhere, see, even in Shadi.com or matrimonial websites, so there will be conditions now. Now, what will you do? You will imagine you open the profile photo. Your friend is saying, "Hey, conditions parra, udra photo parra." Right? Imagine Niranjan saying, "Vasanamada mukyam padapa parra." Right? Imagine. Yes or no? Now you get married. You get married. Tomorrow, if there is a restriction on the scope, problem is for whom? Both. See, families will suffer now. Yes, so it is better to first agree. And then, if that is okay, then you go forward. Clear? So, it happened in his profile once. One person got married. Within 6 months, divorce. Within 6 months only. So he went and asked the parties, like, why did you get married then? Like, this is even faster than CA attempt. Why did you get married then? We were in love. So no, not in love. So when we were discussing, he's like, yeah, bro, love is blind. Lovers are not blind. No, love is blind. Lover, practically, why can't you think? Right? There was, sir, in the wedding, one divorce case because biryani was not given. I swear, there are so many cases happened in our country. Imagine the judge. There was one video which went viral. It was mutual consent divorce. Husband is there in the court, wife is there in the court. Okay, lawyers are waiting. Out of the court, settlement happened. Okay, they have hearing next. Judge is waiting there. Outside, the husband sings a romantic song and they are back as husband and wife now. Imagine lawyers. They will ask, what are we joke? Imagine the judge waiting there. Enga payenge irukanga, divorce pannanom. They are gone. So, in India, unpredictable systems are unpredictable. Clear? So, if before acceptance only, if they put any limitation, should I accept such engagement? No, it is better you leave it. Clear? Such that the auditor believes that limitation will result in disclaiming an opinion. Disclaiming is the worst opinion you can give. Clear? Worst ever opinion an auditor can give for a client is disclaimer of opinion. Disclaimer means he says no comments. Imagine you go and ask the auditor, how is the company? No comments. Will you get confidence? Right? You will not get confidence, no. So that is called disclaimer of opinion. I am disclaiming, I am not claiming any opinion, which means I am not telling any opinion, I am not having any opinion. Right there. Disclaim an opinion means, or rather than writing there, you write in your notes. Last page. Last page. That glossary is there, no? There. Disclaiming an opinion means the auditor does not have any opinion. the auditor does not have any opinion. Does not have any opinion, and this is the worst opinion the auditor can give. This is the worst opinion the auditor can give. Now there are actually 4 types of opinion. Clear? Best, good, bad, worst. Clear? Unmodified is the best. Disclaimer is the worst. They say no, on the scale of 1 to 10. So these are extremes. Unmodified is the best opinion you can get. Disclaimer is the worst opinion you can get. Okay, let's not go into the other ones because we have a dedicated standard for it. We will discuss it there. Right. Next, acceptance of a change in engagement. Engagement here means what? Audit engagement. So suddenly they may ask you to change your audit. Should you change? Imagine I am auditing, okay, or I am teaching audit. Suddenly management will come. Sir, don't teach audit, teach accounts. Should I accept or no? My wish. First I have to ask, why are you asking me to change? There will be a reason. Can management tell, Suma? Simply and all you can't tell me. You have to give a reason why are you asking me to change my work or change my audit. Clear? So I have given you this situation here. Try to understand the situation where this is applicable. An auditor who before the completion of engagement is before completion, not start. Before completion of engagement is requested to change the engagement to one means to another engagement which provides lower level of assurance. You should consider the appropriateness of doing so. Never say no directly. Imagine I am teaching auditing for 120 hours. Okay. Now 120 hours I know that I can teach aramse. Okay. Slowly I can go through the syllabus and I can teach you in 120 hours. Suddenly, now they told take 120 hours and I am teaching 120 hours. Imagine suddenly the management comes and says, sir, finish in 60 hours. Now I am supposed to ask them, why? Now tell me, 60 hours will give you less confidence or 120 hours will give you less confidence? 60 hours. But if management comes and says, sir, take 150 hours, should I accept it? I'll ask, but I can accept it without asking also, no. Why? 120 hours only when it can give you confidence. 150 hours will give you. We'll have more time to solve some questions. Yes, but less than 120 will be less confidence level. So when it is going down the confidence level, no, I should ask them why. Understood? There are 3 reasons why they'll ask. Number 1, change in the circumstances affecting the need for the service. Imagine today I am taking this topic. Class timing is 7:30 to 1. Suddenly they'll tell, at 10 o'clock they'll come and tell, sir, you have to stop class now only. Finish up whatever you're teaching in the next 15 minutes. And I'm asking them why. Imagine they say, sir, touch wood, fire accident happened. Okay? And it is spreading. What will I say? I will teach till 1 o'clock only. Then I will come out of at 1 o'clock, I'll be coming out as ghost rider. Understood? In this circumstances is there. Is it appropriate for me to stop at 10? Is it appropriate for me to stop at 10? Yes, because of circumstances supporting that particular situation. I have to stop at 10 because not management wants, the circumstances like that. It is not in their hands. Number 2, second reason, misunderstanding as to the nature of an audit or related service originally requested. What I told, what they understood, there is a misunderstanding. Are you getting my point? So I told, sir, I will teach audit. Okay. And I was telling I need good number of hours. I didn't mention how much. I said good number of hours. They also said, okay, sir, teach. Now suddenly they asked, sir, when will you finish audit? So I told, I need around 100 and 120 hours. And, sir, that much you want? No, sir, I was finishing 60 hours, sir. I've already accepted it. I have already accepted it. Now they are getting to know that I am going to take more than 100. I am getting to know that they are giving me less than 100. Now they have misunderstood my words. Yes or no? Now in this case, consider the appropriateness. They are not telling do. They are telling consider the appropriateness, meaning a question mark whether I should do or no. Clear? Yes. What is the first scene? Due to circumstances. Sir, law changed. Government changed. Law changed. Business changed. COVID happened. COVID will give notice, sir. 14 days notice. I am coming on March 24th. Be ready. No. Circumstance. We have to change. Work from home we had never seen before that on a high scale. Yes or no? But after COVID, work from home only became a trend. So we have to change our engagement. Now in that case, where can I go physically verify? I can't go. So consider the appropriateness. Second one is there is a misunderstanding between two people, client and auditor, with respect to the nature of work. I told I will do audit. For them, they thought something else. Now they are requesting to change the engagement. Imagine I meant audit. They thought review. I getting my point, very closely related. Now they are telling, sir, I thought review, sir. Don't do audit, sir. Please do review. Now I said I accepted audit. They are telling me change it to review. Should I accept it? Now I cannot say no or yes directly. I should consider the appropriateness. Is it appropriate for me to change? Clear? Then comes the third one, nonsense one. Restriction on the scope of engagement, whether imposed by management or caused by circumstances. I don't care. If my scope has been restricted, I will not take up such audit. Clear? So totally three reasons are there. Reason number one, circumstances. Reason number two, misunderstanding. Reason number three, restriction on scope imposed by management or imposed by circumstance. In three cases, standard says reason number one, reason number two is reasonable justification for you to change the engagement. Third one is not a justification. They can't restrict your scope and tell do whatever you want. Clear? Only reason number one and reason number two is acceptable. Because circumstance is not in management hands. Clear? Misunderstanding, of course, misunderstanding has happened. It is better to change. Are you getting my point? Yes, they are telling, they have understood review. You are doing audit. You have to change now. Are you getting my point? Imagine I am going to crash course and I am teaching regular there. Now they tell, sir, I thought you are teaching crash course, sir. Teach crash course, sir. No, I accepted regular. I will do regular only. Now audit they have given only 3 days. What regular I will do? Are you getting my point? In crash course, so detailing will be happening? No way. Right? In crash course, one day, 2 to 3 chapters will be done. So I have to understand that, and if it is acceptable, I like to change it. If not, I'll tell, okay, sir, you do one thing, it's not acceptable for me, you appoint some other auditor. Got it? Clear? Yes. Right? Now, after 3 points, the auditor would consider carefully the reason given for the request, particularly the implications. What do you mean by implications? Consequences, effects. Clear? Effects of restriction on the scope, especially any legal effects or contractual implications. So if you have entered into a contract, now if you have changed breach of contract, what if they are asking me compensation and all? Check for it. Clear? Then come to a conclusion. What could be considered as reasonable? Number one, a change in circumstances that affects the entity or misunderstanding may be considered as reasonable basis for requesting a change. Clear? The third one is not a reasonable basis for requesting. They can't tell change your audit because I am restricting your scope. Such things you should not accept. Clear? Change may not be considered if it appears that changes relates to information that is incorrect, incomplete, or otherwise unsatisfactory. Here I have to give you one example. Clear? Later on you'll understand. But before that, just give a reading from here till here. Okay, from here till here. Done. After this, we'll put a small chart for better data flow, and then we'll end this particular standard. Right. Now, this is called acceptance of change in the engagement. Okay. Now, should we accept or no? Auditor's decision to accept or not. Now, if you read this, now this is a bare standard language. Like how we have bare act, right? This is a standard language. Clear? If you read the standard, no, there is no pointers. One by one, content is there. Clear? So, how we have to read is, we have to get an understanding of each and every point, and then we have to mind map it. You will not get the expertise in the class. Okay? I will tell you that also. In the class, you won't be expert of standards. In the class, understand what are the different elements of the standard, what it says. Your work doesn't start now. Your work starts after the class. So after the class, you have to give a reading, you have to sit and study standard. Especially standard, give a reading every day. Okay. Now, should we accept or no? Before that, which reason is considered reasonable? First two, which is that circumstances and misunderstanding. Limitation on scope is not acceptable. Clear? Now, this point number B says, change may not be considered reasonable if it appears that the change is relating to some information, but this information is incorrect, incomplete, or otherwise. Now, what is the example, sir? Imagine there is a company. Okay, there is a company, and this is you, auditor. Now, you are going to audit this company, A Limited. Now, in A Limited, there is debtors of 1 lakh. Okay. Now, you are going to check this particular debtor, Mr. A. You got 1 lakh. In balance sheet, they have maintained as 1 lakh. But when you checked the bill and all, no, in bill, it was only 70,000. The total proof you got is only for 70,000. Okay. Now, my question to you, the evidence you have is for 70,000. Right? But in the balance sheet, how much they have disclosed? 1 lakh. Now, how do you solve this gap?
Confirmation.
Very good. Confirmation from debtors. So, if I have to take confirmation from Mr. A, whose permission I need? So, I will go to A Limited. And I will tell them, give me authorization. That time they will tell, sir, don't do audit, do review. Are you getting my point? Clear? Now they understood that I am going in depth of debtors. So they are telling, audit panadinga sir, neenga review mattu pannunga. Now aren't they changing my scope because of incorrect information? Is this acceptable for me? No. I have to change my engagement only because of two things, circumstance and misunderstanding. This is not circumstance also, this is not misunderstanding also. This is they are limiting my scope based on incorrect information. Are you getting my point? Understood? Yes, sir.
Sir, if you know this information means you are already accepted the engagement.
Yeah, I have accepted. Now they are asking me to change it. See, this I did not know. No. Debtors, I got the balance sheet. Okay, debtors is 1 lakh. Generally, what will believe? 1 lakh is there, evidence will be there for 1 lakh. Then I should accept it. After accepting, I am working. In the process of working, I got evidence of only 70,000. 30,000 is missing. I have to ask for authorization. When I asked for authorization, they said, don't do audit, do review. So they changed my scope now. Review scope is different. Limited review they are asking me to do. Now they are changing my scope. This is unreasonable. This is not a justified reason. I cannot change. I will tell I will not change. They will tell, what do you mean you will not change? You have to change. I said I will not change. I will give a report saying, this financial statements, I don't have any opinion on this. I will give a report and withdraw. Either I will give a report or I will withdraw from the engagement. I will not accept review. Understood? Imagine I accepted audit classes as regular, right? In between I asked, sir, maybe payment or something I asked. He said, no, do one thing, do crash course and leave. Don't do regular class. Sir, I took up regular class. I did not take up crash course. You are asking me to take crash course now. Unacceptable for me. If it is acceptable, you will accept it. Don't worry. But SA 210 clearly says what? This is unreasonable and not a proper justification, not a proper basis to change the engagement. If you want to change the engagement, only two bases is proper. Circumstance and misunderstanding. This is neither of that. Clear? This is neither of that. Law changed? No. Nothing changed. You are changing my work because you got to know that I am doing some other thing. So this is not acceptable. Now the question is, should I accept it or no? This is where your decision comes now. Should auditor accept or not? Number one, if the auditor concludes that there is reasonable justification to change, and if the audit work performed means past tense or present tense? Past tense meaning old work. That work complied with essays applicable to the changed engagement, then the report issued would be appropriate for the revised terms of engagement. You will not understand the language straight away. In simple language, they are telling if the terms are, if the circumstance or if the reason is justified, if there is a proper basis, then you accept it, and in the new engagement, in the new terms also follow the essays and give a new report. Understood? So right there, for your understanding, I will dictate in general terms right there. If auditor finds the reason for change, if auditor finds the reason for change is reasonable, then he should also check whether for the new engagement, whatever the work was performed, if it complies with essay, then the report issued on the revised term, is appropriate. Appropriate means right. Now imagine, I'll give you the correct picture. See, we would have been working under the old terms till now. Yes. Are we working under old terms till now? Till the justification came? Yes. Now under old terms, we would have been preparing some work, some documentations would be ready. That we are done as per essay. Yes. Now my question to you, in the new engagement also I have to start my work, right? Which will take me same time, double the time now. Now the old work which I have already performed, the same work I can use here if the essay is applicable for new engagement as well. In short, Imagine a student writing September attempt or May attempt. Now he is writing January attempt. For January attempt, can he use the same notes he prepared for May attempt? Yes, sir. For all subjects? Tax, corporate laws. Yes. For these subjects, can he use the same notes? No. For those subjects, he has to prepare. But what about accounts? Yes. Costing? Yes. FM? Yes. SM? Yes. Understood. So, for accounts and other subjects, no change only. So, I can use the same notes. Same thing here. There are certain things which are already prepared in the old engagement. Can I use it same in the new engagement? If the essays are applicable, then I can use it. If the essays are same. See, for audit, essay is different. For review, standards are different. So, the work I prepared for audit, I can't use it for review. The work I used for review, I can't use it for audit. But both the things I'm doing audit only. Can I use the same work? Yes. Essay, no problem for me. Understood? Clear? Yes. You may not get a clarity. You may not get a clarity because a lot of things are going in your head. Okay? I told you when standard starts, you'll realize what is audit. Clear? Now, take it slow, absolutely no issues. Go home today, read the standard. If you have a doubt, come tomorrow with the doubt. No issues for me. Right? So, if you are okay with change of engagement, prepare new engagement report, prepare new audit report. But in the new report, in order to avoid confusion, the report would not include reference. The new report, in that new report, never mention about two things. Don't give reference of original engagement. Don't tell the people, the investors, that we had changed and all, because they get confused. Right? Now, if I tell you old rule was this, new rule is this, you will get confused on which rule I have to study. It is better to teach you only the new rule without telling you what was old rule. That's why they are telling, do not give reference to original engagement. Also, any procedures that may have been performed in the original engagement to make your stress lighter. Sir, when you are meeting a new person, do not talk about the past. Okay? Do not tell what you have done in the past. Original engagement means past. Your ex engagement. Don't mention about ex engagement. Procedures performed. Don't even mention about what you have done. Clear? Otherwise, the new party will get confused now. Who you are, what you are doing, what you are saying, confused. Avoid confusion. Don't talk about your ex engagement. Okay, I am talking about audit. Don't tell what was your old audit, what you have done in old audit. Okay? Gatam, past is past. Understood? Clear? Okay, sir. Sir, if there is no reasonable justification, straight away do not agree. And what is not a reasonable justification?
Change due to scope.
Yes, right here. Limitation on scope. Do not expect life to be easy when you are in CA. Okay? Every day you will find challenges. Yes, sir.
The old engagement is also the same auditor and the new engagement is also the same auditor.
Yeah, because management is asking me only to change. No.
Change to audit.
Yeah, I am only the auditor. I was only auditing. Now they are only asking me to review. So, if you are bringing a new auditor, why will he talk about old audit? Because he has not done. No.
Not mention about the audit.
No. If you are giving report, in that report, do not mention about old audit. Correct. New also is an audit. He is asking me to do a different audit. In that, don't mention about the old one. Understood? For example, imagine now they have told you we'll change the premise. Correct? Best example. They have told you we'll change the premise from this date. Now from that date onwards, if a new student comes, no, We will not tell the new student about old problem. Understood? We'll not mention only. Why? Is it required? That fellow will get confused. Imagine next day he comes and sits here. We are in some other premise. And he will tell class got cancelled. Understood? So don't confuse the users. That's why they said to avoid confusion. Do not talk about your original engagement and what you have done there.
Reason to change is not the
No, you don't have to disclose it to them. When you are not telling them only that you have changed, why are you disclosing the reason? The reason is between management and auditor. Understood?
Sir, if the reason comes on the third point,
Then don't accept only, It is not a reasonable justification, no. Understood? If it is not a reasonable justification only, then I will not accept. If you are limiting my scope, I will not accept. Only if it is reasonable, I will accept. Understood? Now imagine between management and me there is some conversation. Why will I tell you? You I will come and teach whatever is there, I will come and teach. Okay? But whatever I have spoken, why will I tell you? You will get confused. No. So to avoid your confusion, I will not mention that. Not because I don't want to mention. If I mention, you will get confused. Clear? Right? That is the reason they are telling in the new report, do not mention about your old procedures. Clean slate. Okay? Yes? Right. Now agreement on new terms. Since we agreed on new terms, should we have, now listen, you can answer this. Since we are agreeing on new terms, should we have a new engagement letter or should we have only the old one? Why new? Terms will be different now. Clear? So if the terms are changed, then agree on and record the new terms of the engagement in an engagement letter or any other form of written agreement. Could be contract. Could be contract. They say contract of service. If the auditor is unable to agree to the change, what am I supposed to do? And is not permitted to continue by the management. Sir, I will not agree to the change. Initially I agreed, this point I agreed. Now I am telling I am not agreeing to the change. If I am not agreeing to the change, that means I am continuing under old terms. Amava illaya. Yes. So if I am not agreeing to the terms, which means I am continuing under old terms, management is not allowing me to work under old terms. What am I supposed to do? Standard says withdraw from the audit engagement wherever possible. If it is possible, you better withdraw, and it is not or, and check whether is there any obligations, could be contractual obligations or otherwise means legal obligations, to report the circumstances to other parties such as TCWG, owners, regulators. Right? Logic. We'll put a chart, it will be cleared. If I don't accept the new terms and I'll tell I will continue with the old terms only, they will not let me work. In such cases, withdraw from the engagement, go and tell people who have appointed you. Understood? Understood. So go and tell these TCWG owners or even regulators. Regulators means who's? SEBI, RBI, ROC, all these people. Tell them I am withdrawing because of these things. Now they will know what is happening. No, they will take action. Got it? Clear? Yes. Now we will put up a chart. Right? Then we will go to recurring audits. Once recurring audits is done, SA 210 is done. Clear? Right. Give the heading SA 210. SA 210. Sir, can we change only if it is circumstances and misunderstanding? Yes. Only in these cases we can change. SA 210.
In that point, they telling if they restrict the scope, we can withdraw. On the starting point, they say you can prepare the audit, and after that they say
Yes.
there is some misunderstanding. What?
No, misunderstanding is reasonable. In third point, they are limiting your scope. They are telling don't do this, don't do that. After you accept it.
audit prepare பண்ணாங்க
correct.
மீட் பண்ணக்கூடாது அத வந்து மிஸ்அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்ன்ற மாதிரி கொண்டு போனாங்கன்னா
If it is proved like that, then yes. But it is with the case, it is a clear-cut case that they knew what I was doing. They have understood my assignment. Now they are telling it is, sir, I misunderstood your work and all. That is change of color there. It is not actual misunderstanding. They're faking it. They're lying about it. Now you take a professional judgment. Should I continue or should I withdraw? Yes, you can withdraw. You can still withdraw. Nobody is forcing you. If you feel that it is not reasonable, standard says first two things are reasonable. They're not telling you have to accept it. They're telling it is reasonable to change. But third one, never change, they're telling. Understood? In the second point, you can accept panikalam. You can withdraw also. I'm not stopping you. But the scope of you accepting, I'm giving you that in first two cases. In the third case, you don't even have to think about accepting. Withdraw directly. Understood? Clear? SA 210, agreeing the terms of audit engagements. Clear? Divide that into 2. Sorry, ma? So divide that into 3. SA 210. Even though it is due to misunderstanding, can auditor withdraw if he wants it? Yes. Okay. Don't just copy. What is precondition? What are the preconditions we have discussed? First, FRF to be acceptable. Second one, no. Second one, obtain agreement of management responsibilities. Correct? In this we have 3, no? Number 1. What is the first one? Preparation of financial statements. Number 2. Preparation of ICS. Number 3. Provide 3 things. 1, 2, 3. What is that? All information, additional information, unrestricted access to whom? People within the entity. Within the entity. So this is your preconditions. Correct? Second, engagement terms. We should have AEL. What is AEL? Audit engagement letter. இதல contents என்ன இருக்கு? Number 1, objective and scope. Objective and scope of what? Auditor? Of audit. Number B, auditor's responsibility. Next, management's responsibility. Next, AFRF applicable. Third one, yes, reference to form and content, right? Expected form and content and changes due to circumstances. Yes, done, clear, right? Now see, listen. Sir, you scroll down too quick. Wait, I'll write and present it. Don't worry. See, these things, in the class only we have revised like thrice. Yes. So, 50 to 60% of the content you remember. but you don't revise it in the next 2-3 days, that 50-60% also is gone. Then if you say preconditions, you look at my face. Clear? Continuous revision if you do, after a point of time, you don't need such chart, you will automatically have that content in your mind. Clear? So whenever possible, wherever you see preconditions, try to revise. Okay. Okay, copy this. Then we will go to the next one. Quickly copy this. So copy till here first. Which one? Limitation on scope. Limitation. No, what is my scope? My scope is to check items of financial statements. Limitation means you're putting restriction on that. Okay, you're not letting me do my job. If you are putting me such restrictions, then I cannot give you my opinion. I can't give independent opinion. Right? So I have to do whatever you are asking me to do. So I don't want to accept such engagements. That time I will withdraw. Because I can't be independent. I am becoming dependent. I am totally doing whatever you are asking me to do. So such limited engagement I don't want. I will withdraw. Sorry? Proposed means I've not yet accepted. So before accepting only, you're putting restrictions. Like you put conditions such as you can't do this, you can't go and ask debtors the confirmation, you can't take direct confirmation, you have to ask me only. So you are putting restrictions on my scope. Like for example, if management says that Karthik sir, you teach, no problem. But before giving every example, you have to first ask us whether this example is fine or no. Now where can I give my examples then? I am giving whatever they are asking me to give. Understood? So that is like putting restrictions, right? So sorry? But where are you giving your independent opinion? Standard says don't accept. Yes, they are clearly telling no, such limited engagement, you don't have to accept it. Sorry? There it is before the acceptance. The doubt which you asked, show me that. There, see here. Look at the heading, read the heading. Prior means before accepting. Done. This point done. Copied. Yes. Can we write the third one? Yes. Change in the engagement. Now change in the engagement will be due to 3 reasons. Oh, you are telling sir. I heard sir. First is circumstances. Second one, misunderstanding. Third one, restriction on scope of audit. Now in this, which reason is reasonable? Sorry? No, reasonable justification to change. You're talking about change in the engagement. Okay, now listen. Now from here, don't copy. Okay, just try to see the flow, then you copy. Now only 2 reasons are reasonable justification for us so that we can change the engagement. Now here we have 2 things to decide. Should we change? Change is not done. So one is auditor will change the engagement, auditor will not change the engagement. Now, if auditor changes the engagement, what is he supposed to do? This point here. If auditor changes the engagement, number one, he is supposed to conclude whether there is reasonable justification and whether the work performed complies with AS or sorry SA. Now here I will write here, if changes is done, step 1, complies with SA, which is applicable for new engagement. Applicable for new engagement. Okay. Step 2. Step 2. If it is there, we will accept the new engagement or we will change to the new engagement. If yes, the report would be issued be appropriate for the revised term. So if yes, issue the report based on old terms or new terms? Based on new terms. Based on what terms? New terms. Now, step 3. Draft new engagement letter. Draft new engagement letter. Understood? Clear? Yes? If terms are changed. If terms are changed, draft new engagement letter. Now this is your total point here. Understood? Clear? And this one also we have covered. Or draft a new contract. Draft a new contract. Now my question, listen, wait, don't write, wait, hold on. I know you have urgency to leave at 1 o'clock, wait. Okay, no problem. Concept is very important. Sir, if change is not done, what am I supposed to do? If I am not agreeing for the change, okay, I am not agreeing for the change. If I am not agreeing for the change, that means I am agreeing with the old terms only, which means I will work based on old terms only. Now I need support from the management. No, who gives me information? They are only not allowing me to work. Clear? So here, situation, auditor will work on old terms. Clear? Now here, management does not allow. If management allows, do we have any problem? They asked for change. I said I will not change and I said I will work with the old terms. They said yes. Any problem? No. So continue the audit. Continue the audit. Now see, listen. In this case, in continuing the audit, report will be based on old terms or new terms? Old terms only. Report will be on old terms only. Understood? If management does not allow, what am I supposed to do? Yes. A, withdraw, plus B, report. To whom? Owners, TCWG, regulators. Clear? Now report only if there is an obligation. Otherwise it is your choice. Clear? This is a must. This is mandatory. If it is an obligation, this is mandatory if it is an obligation. Yes, sir. This is your reasonable justification to change. Now, did you copy this one? Did you copy this one? What is it? Again, you want me to show completely? What will you do with this now? This is last only. So you guys copy till here first. This entire chart should be good enough for your revision of SA 210. Except for one concept called recurring audits. Obligation is maybe law has asked you or contract has asked you, agreement. So it is obligation is based on the law or contract. Legal obligation means it is there in the law only. Contractual obligation means it is there in the contract. Done till here? No. Show me the first point. If I scroll here, they'll kill me now. Agreement on first point. If you agree on the if you agree to change the engagement, now the change of engagement will be based on new terms. Those new terms you record in a separate prepare a new engagement letter, because the old engagement letter is based on old terms. This will be based on new terms. Okay. Then scroll. If not engagement letter, then put up a contract. But basically put the terms in writing. Can I scroll? Done? Imagine you are copying the answer in the exam and you have only 5 minutes. Done? Scrolling? Yes? Scroll down, huh? Wait. People are waiting to kill me. Look at this student. That means we will get 2 times fees, sir. Fees only once. Okay, he's saying now they have asked me to change my engagement. No. So if I accept in the new engagement, I'll get 2 fees is asking. Fees will I get twice. See, standard doesn't talk about fees. None of the standard talks about fees. No. Mad or what? You have to do it for free, it seems. What ashram this is? You charge for your work. How much you should charge, that is your call. You can tell them, okay sir, I will accept the new engagement, I will work on the new engagement. Please do one thing, clear my old fees. Based on that, after you clear that old fees, we will start the new one. Or in the new agreement or new engagement letter, put that. Simple. No, I am saying when you are telling only, include that and tell. Like imagine in your new engagement it is 10,000, old engagement charges 2,000. Tell 12,000. See, you should not mention about old things with the users. Will you tell fees to users? Then old thing you should not tell to users, but management will know. No. Clear? Done now? Yes sir. Copied? Yes? Cool. Yeah, I'll show you. I will be there here, don't worry. So those who have done copying, we'll stop here. Tomorrow we will be done with this chapter.